very happy to have spoken to Jermaine Roll, and his book is available at Nassau Stationers, Chapter 1 Bookstore, Book World and Stationers, and Logos Bookstore right here in New Providence. We are pleased in this portion of our program today to be introducing another book, and this book is very special to me because it is a book on my dear friend, the late Reverend Dr. Charles C. Smith. And the book is on Charles C. Smith II, his life and legacy. And it took about 16 years for his wife, Jacqueline Smith, to produce this book, and she is joining us today. Sister Smith, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's very nice to have you here today.
Blessed to be here.
Your husband was a great Baptist theologian, a pastor of Zion Baptist Church, Eastern Shirley Streets, for many years.
Many years.
When did he pass?
He passed on February the 16th, 1999. And this year will make 17 years. Okay. It was funny how this book came out because he died on the 16th. Last year was made 16 years since he died. And the books were delivered to my house on September the 16th.
Wow.
So I don't know how it happened, but that's how it happened.
Yes.
He died on the 16th. The books came out 16 years later and into my house on September the 16th.
Wow.
I went to buy some little bags to put the books in, and the bill was $16 a day.
I don't know what that 16 number represents. It probably is just a coincidence.
I don't know. And now this year ends in 16, so something spectacular must be going to happen again this year.
Interesting, interesting. And it took you 16 years to put this book together.
To put it together.
Why did it take so long?
To get it published. All sorts of little setbacks here and there. The thing about it was there's so many persons in that book that wanted to pay tributes to him. And we wanted to make sure we got them all in there, but still one or two of them got left out. But there were several setbacks financially, as well as Mr. Ian Fernando, who is the editor, publisher of the book. He injured himself during the whole process, and so he was laid up for a few months. I still used to go there, but we weren't able to do as much work as we could have, and so it took a while. And if you look through the book, you will see how extensive the index at the back. I mean, that's...
It's really extensive, and it's 672 pages.
Exactly.
And this is truly on the life and times of Reverend Dr. Smith. It begins really from his birth. It's his birth.
His birth in Dumfries, Kent Island, and then when we met, was when he came to Nassau. Students who had sat and passed the BJC exams, they were gearing those students to become teachers. He came down from Kent Island to Nassau to attend the technical school, as it was called. Rodney Bain and Mrs. Bain, his wife, Gillian, Mrs. Rodin, they ran the, and Mr. McDonald, was it Luther? He was at the wake. They had the workshop over there.
Luther McDonald.
Yeah, yes. Charles used to be, I think, even assisting him over there as well. That's how we met at the school. If you know where C.C. Sweeting's eastern campus is, right. You've got one on the west, one on the east. There are two buildings.
Yes.
where the RAF soldiers used to live. And he was in the one on this side, and I was in this one over here. He was a year ahead of me.
So you were both training as teachers?
Well, that's what they, but he did not become a teacher when he left. He went into refrigeration, and then he got a call from the Lord to go into the ministry. So, well, he ended up teaching, because being a pastor,
yes,
that's teacher, preacher, okay?
And he was quite a lettered man, because he went to Calabar, didn't he?
That's right.
And I know that he was quite fluent in certain languages. And
Latin,
yes,
Hebrew, Greek, you name it, in those languages, he excelled. He always said he wished he could have given his brain to somebody because it was so full of knowledge, all right? And he won several prizes because he was always tops in his class. When he went to Southern Seminary, I went along with him. And in his Hebrew class, he said that the teacher did not want to give him some grades, you know, on his paper. And he thought that wasn't right. And he went to him and he said, look, what's... And he had to change his grade because there was nothing he could see. No reason why they should have taken marks off of his grades.
I understand Charles Smith was able to preach from a Bible that was a Hebrew Bible.
That's right.
And so
right.
I heard him preach on numerous occasions, and he would always give you the definition of these words from the Hebrew or from the Greek, and so he was quite a scholar.
In fact, it made his sermons more, I would say, powerful.
Yes.
Because when he read the Greek and the Hebrew, he got a different translation, a different meaning from the King James Version, and he was able to really explain exactly, you know, what. Because sometimes you read the King James Version and it's a little difficult to interpret exactly what they mean. But when he read the Greek and the Hebrew, he got a clearer understanding of what was, you know, that Bible verse or passage of Scripture was teaching.
Yes. You said that you met while you were in teachers training college, and you soon thereafter got married, I believe.
Yes.
And you were telling me that you got married in a Baptist church,
yes.
even though your father was a catechist in St. Agnes.
St. Agnes, catechist, all of his years. He came from Long Key, that was his hometown.
Yes.
Came to Nassau, and he was made catechist in St. Agnes soon after he came to Nassau. And I really and truly was blessed by his singing, that he had a beautiful tenor voice. I really and truly, I enjoyed my, and was blessed by my Anglican heritage.
So your roots are in the Anglican church?
I still go back, yes. I am still quite a member, not regularly, of St. Agnes Church.
Okay.
But I go to St. Agnes as often as I can.
Yes. And you spent most of your time, though, in Zion Baptist Church. Charles Smith succeeded the late Talmud Sands.
Yes.
And so he...
In 1917.
Yes, and Talmud Sands used to be a Methodist minister before he became a Baptist.
That's right.
And I'm given to understand that Zion really, truly became a Baptist church in the truest sense of the term because of this man from Dumfries, Cat Island.
Well, he changed things around and made the ministry, to me, become more relevant. You know, people were just sitting there, not active. But he made them to understand we are all ministers in our rights, co-laborers, and it isn't just the priest or the pastor in charge of the church. We are all together workers all right, and you know, because the thing about women keeping silence in the church, I mean, they used to really take that literally. All right, but as you and I know, had it not been for women in the ministry or women in the church, there'd be no church.
Absolutely. I often say that the church in the Bahamas sometimes operates out of the feminine because the people who are mostly in the pews are women.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Charles Smith stayed at Zion as pastor for how long?
29 years.
29 years.
Let me tell you another story with that number 9. He was born 1939. He was 59 when he died.
59.
He had his heart attack in 89. He went to Jamaica in 1959. He had his heart attack, like I said, in 89, and he lived 9 years after the heart attack.
Wow.
Okay? He had a brother, Lathan. It's all in the book. Lathan died 69. Melvin died 79. Lloyd died 89, and Charles died 1999. The 4 brothers, 10 years apart, each dying in a year that ended in the number 9.
The number 9.
69, 79, 89, 89. It was just fascinating to see how things worked out with him and numbers.
Yes, yes. Some would say that is more than a coincidence. But in addition to being the pastor of Zion, he was the superintendent of the Zion Baptist Convention. And grew the convention, especially in Grand Bahama, eh?
Especially in Grand Bahama. Exuma has a strong holding as well. Cat Island, a very strong holding there. And Andros, all right. Several of the islands. Abaco had quite a number as well. Okay.
And through this dynamic ministry that he had, he also found time to be a leader in Baptist World Alliance.
That's right.
And the
Caribbean Baptist
Fellowship. As a matter of fact, wasn't he president of the Caribbean Baptist Fellowship?
He was, and I don't remember how many years he spent as president, but I know 1988, I could remember that year, I think that's when we went to Lake Yale. It's you know, it's all in this book. So he wore several hats. President also of the National Baptist Convention.
Yes. Okay,
here in Bahamas. So that was another post. Vice President he became of the Baptist World Alliance. One of them. Okay, because there were others. Superintendent of the Zion United Baptist Convention. Pastor of Zion, and you know those posts were heavy posts. Heavy posts
for such a young man, because we heard that he died at 59.
That's right.
And so he must have done these things.
That's right.
When he was in his 30s and 40s, eh?
Yes, we got married. When we got married, he was 25. I think I was 24. And we started out at Mount Moriah.
Right.
Okay, on Farrington Road. We, like I said, we went to Zion in 1970 and stayed there until he died in 1999. So that was 29 years. That's another 9.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in his lifetime, it was just a constant going to the Baptist World Alliance, traveling with them all over the place. I was able to go with him several of the trips. And then superintendent, the islands. And it was just a power-packed ministry.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the country is better off for it. And let's take a break here on the program. We are talking about the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Charles C. Smith II with his widow, Jacqueline Smith. We'll come right back.